Tour Junkies.
Wow. Pat,
Yes.
can you believe it? We finally did it.
Wait, what do we do? What do we do?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We have a name for the show.
Oh!
Shit off.
Woo! And Pat, really it's inspired by you. So why don't you take the lead here?
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and a lot of this is mainly maybe because I'm top 1,000 in the world at this. But yes, the show is the Bump and Run with the Tour Junkies. And you know what? I can't think of a better name for a show, DB. I really can't.
We literally couldn't. We tried for weeks.
I mean, yeah, we tried a long time. I mean, we couldn't think of a better name. That's it. This is what we came up with.
We had some good ones. I mean, I do feel like the three we landed on, Bump and Run being one of them. I think the other two were good. And one of them was a suggestion. The other one was kind of birthed from a different suggestion from a listener. Some people could say this was just a diabolical plan to not award a listener with credit for naming the show. That is not what happened. We would never do that. Pat came up with Bump and Run, and it's kind of his thing. And you know what the world needs, Pat, is another like show / podcast that's golf related to be named after another golf phrase. So we decided to just bless the world with that.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Well, the Bump and Run needs more attention, I think.
I mean, you are. I've had this idea, and all we need is an investor. I think it could be gold. The idea is we put Pat and myself and maybe Tony, because we need a camera person. We need Tony's creative brain in there. And the three of us hit the road. We skin a van or something. We paint up a van, and it's Pat traveling to clubs around the country, both challenging their best bump and run person, and also maybe teaching clinics to juniors and bringing light and awareness to the epidemic that is juniors. Not even knowing. There are literally kids today that have never even heard. They've heard of the Bump and Run, Pat.
No, they're trying to flop shots up, way up in the air.
Yeah, they're trying to open the face and nip it just right and using the bounce, and they're afraid to use the, it is a problem. And I do think the content we could get out of that would be glorious. So if anyone's willing to, to make a sizable donation, we would happily do that. And you could, that person, you could sponsor it, and we could talk about you every show. I think it's a great idea.
I would love it. I would love to spread my expertise around the world, and challenge people. It makes you better. When you challenge people, challenge yourself. So yeah, I'm excited.
Move you up and down the ranking based on your performance after every stop. I mean,
yeah,
it would be an incredible thing. I mean, the world of YouTube golf is booming, and this is a Tour Junkies twist on it. Me and Tony could be your managers, like a Don King, and we go and set up the matches. We go ahead of you and kind of, scout out who we think is a worthy opponent at each club. And
sorry, my chair keeps going down.
See how it goes. Anyway, the show is finally named. It is done. It is finished. The Bump and Run every Thursday, coming to you on the YouTube channel and wherever you listen to our podcast. So there we go. We got a great show today.
We did.
We're going to talk
very
about
excited.
PGA Tour and the announcement that came down. LIV Golf, the Full Swing 2 announcement is out. And then Waste Management is next week, and we're going to be there. So I don't know. Tony, kick us off.
Yeah, we'll jump right into it, guys. Ton of kind of business side of golf news this week. And we'll start that off with the PGA Tour and the Strategic Sports Group have announced a partnership. Some of the details: this group is going to invest $3 billion with a B into the PGA Tour's for-profit business, $900 million of equity shares for about 180 guys, of which that top 700 million or so is going to go to the top 36. I don't think that's exactly been identified of how they're going to determine that top 20 or top 36, whether it's, PIP, Google searches, play, what exactly that's going to be. And then this is all separate from the PIF, the PIF investment as well. So the PGA Tour has a lot of cash flow coming in to their product, which what I want to throw out to you guys, and we can get to some of these other details in just a second, but with this cash flow in the product, a lot of what I saw, and DB, I know you mentioned it as well, the product on screen, what we, the fans, the viewers are watching. How do you think that this investment is going to change that? We've even had a couple of the guys, Max Homa's taken to Twitter. I think Morikawa in his press conference had mentioned it too, how the on-screen product needs to change, which is the first time that I've actually heard some of these guys be that vocal about it. So I wanted to toss this out to you guys, DB, since you commented on it. I'll throw it out to you first. How do you think that that'll happen? Do you think that'll happen? Will this just be another the rich get richer, the top 90, the top 1% keep getting pocketing this money, and we the fans are just stuck with what we're stuck with and watching that?
First of all, if there is any sporting organizational body that can put the strategic part of the strategic sports group to the test, it will be Jay Monahan and the people making decisions at the PGA Tour, because they have been anything but strategic. You could argue for a long time, and LIV has exposed that. So that being said, specifically the question that you're asking about the on-screen thing, I mean, I do feel like if players like Colin Morikawa, if players like Homa, who's usually more vocal anyway, are bringing this to the forefront, then obviously these guys, the folks in the room making the decisions and with the big pocketbooks are going to know that that's a thing. But I mean, it's a two-way street, right? I mean, as far as I know, like NBC and CBS isn't getting any of this money, so they're not getting this big injection. So how is it going to work? How are they going to work together with the these broadcasting partners to give the assets, the manpower, the space that's necessary to improve the television product? That remains to be seen. But ultimately, I guess it's never a bad thing when $1.5 billion, and that's the thing I think is important, right? If I'm understanding this right, the $3 billion is not necessarily guaranteed. It's 1.5 up front with another 1.5, set aside and potentially set up to continue to invest. Either way, it's a lot of money, and that injection is nice. You would think that's going to have a positive impact. But as I tweeted as soon as this was announced, the worst case scenario for this is that the strategic sports group, the people with a lot of control now, the worst case scenario is they inject a lot of money and continue to allow Jay Monahan to run this thing the way he's already run it. So I hope that doesn't happen. If it does, the TV product will continue to suck. Pat?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think here's the thing though. What it really boils down to is these guys that are part of this SSG are not dummies. They didn't get to their point in life, as businessmen, women, maybe. I don't know who's all in this group other than like Arthur Blank and somebody with the Mets. But Arthur Blank, we'll use him as an example, didn't get to where he is with owning the Falcons and Home Depot and all that stuff without being a little bit smart when it comes to business. I would bet most all of these want some sort of return on their investment. And to do that, there's a lot of different aspects to that. There's obviously their dealings with the tour, but it's making a better product. I mean, that's how you earn more off your investment. You improve a product and then you earn more money. So in my mind, that all kind of comes together where hopefully it translates to the product that we as fans see. And that's what, you had like Max Homa tweet really that kind of exact same thing out. That was one thing he said, was that he would guess that it is a, something that it's going to help the fan. And I think, Spieth had some comments about this yesterday too, in his press conference. He kind of talked about like, look, I think these players recognize that a lot of this is about the money and what they are getting right now, and they realize that the fans are also talking about this, that what are we going to get out of this? Obviously that we're not going to get any money, but what are we going to get from a product?
We should get some sort of We should get
Yeah.
some reparations for this shit. We've had to put up with this for this long. We've had to put up for this long as fans. I freaking quit my job 2 years ago to cover this dumb sport that Monahan has run into the damn ground from a professional golf viewing standpoint. We should get something. This should be one of those scenarios where we get a letter in the mail, and if we go to this website or do this, you're going to get $23.75 along with 100 million other people. Like,
Yeah.
So DB, when you say this sport that we love to watch has been run into the ground, like what do you mean by that? What can the on-screen product do differently in golf? Is it less commercials? Is it, enhanced features like shot tracer on every single shot? Kind of what exactly does that look like?
The bells and whistles are fine, but it's just give us the meat and potatoes first. Give us more shots with less commercial load. Give us better coverage windows. If there is golf, if there is meaningful golf on, I should be able to watch it somewhere. Maybe don't make it. If I'm paying for a subscription like ESPN Plus, if I'm having to pay additional, then I should get a damn good feed through that line. That thing should not be littered with breaks and replays and not live golf action. That should not be the case. I should not only be able to see 2 groups or 1 hole or whatever it is. So it's just really showing us more golf. That's number one. And lightening the commercial load and making it more accessible. All of that would go a long way. Then you could talk about adding features like shot tracers, or you could talk about different types of feeds, right? I know that's been a hot thing going on in our little corner of Twitter, is like a cut sweat feed, a gambling feed, a whatever. All that is awesome, but that doesn't even have to, that is not even phase 1 to me. Phase 1 is just, why can't I just watch the pro sport? Like, I don't see, they don't, and I know golf is a long game and whatever, but like, I don't see 3/4 of the 4 quarters in a football game or an NFL or an NBA game. Like, show me the whole thing somewhere. Find a partner somewhere that even if I want to pay extra, I can see it. Build out ShotLink that I can track no matter where you go. I don't care if you go to freaking Malaysia again. Build out ShotLink. Let's have ShotLink to where we can have it everywhere on every course. Let's not have to have a guy shoot a 59 again on a course that you don't have a camera on. It's real simple stuff like that to me first.
Pat?
I agree. I mean, you pretty much said it all. I mean, I was going to add in the shot tracer type stuff, but agree. I mean, I think a lot of these things could certainly be worked on, and they've got an added injection of capital to help make that happen.
Maybe it's something just, having 2 or 3 full broadcast groups, and then you have, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday through Sunday, obviously cuts, all that stuff. You adjust those times, and then 7 to 12 is broadcast A. Set, 12 to 3 or 4 is broadcast B, and then you bring in the A team for that window that's currently there now. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully with this cash flow, we'll see some changes. But fellas, moving on to our next topic here, we got a bunch of LIV Golf news as they are kicking off their season tomorrow. A couple days today actually, and with LIV Golf Mayakoba. Obviously we've got John Rahm, who joined a few weeks ago. The Tyrrell Hatton news dropped earlier this week, where I saw yesterday the PGA Tour Communications Twitter sent out the Tyrrell Hatton has withdrawn from the AT&T Pebble Beach has been replaced, which just gave me
another improvement.
Which just gave me a little chuckle there. We've got Anthony Kim rumors from last week about him coming back, whether it be on the tour or LIV Golf. And then they announced something really cool today that just seems to be the next step in what they're trying to do, called Every Shot, Every Hole technology, where you can just Google their group and you can drop in and see where they're at. You can watch them every shot, every tournament. So
is it bad that my mind, when you said every shot, every hole, it just like goes to Club Pro guy making some sort of sexual innuendo about that exact same thing? Like, when is that tweet coming out?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that. So again, Pat, we'll start this one off with for you, because Rory has had a couple comments about this week with LIV guys being able to come back, no penalty or anything like that. In our group text, you have said you've made the decision. Well, I'm just throwing my hands up as well. Like it's here to stay. It looks like it is. We're going into season 3 now, and the LIV Golf is dead. Quotes have been thrown out for 5 years now. And again, we're getting ready to kick off season 3 here. So Pat, I'll throw that off to you. Just some of these signings and your comments as season 3 is getting ready to kick off.
Yeah. Well, first off with Rory, I mean, whatever. It's kind of like I said, I mean, he's changed his opinion. And I think a lot of that comes with some of it being with time and learning a little more about it. But I also think going back to the SSG and their injection of capital into the PGA Tour and the regulatory things we're starting to hear with the PIF, I think all of that means too that we're still a long ways away from, some sort of joining of these two tours. There's going to be a lot of separation still for a while. So I think that's just what we're going to continue to see. With LIV though, yeah, I'm excited for the start. Actually, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens. And I think that, it's not a surprise to me that Hatton went over to LIV. It really isn't. I thought he was probably the more likely next character, as DB would like to say, because DB loves characters apparently. And
big character guy. It's
big character guy. And so, Hatton coming over to LIV, I think makes a lot of sense. Now, the rest of their team, Legion 13 or whatever it is, X3, I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's like, I feel like
in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever is interesting because I don't know who two of those guys are. Actually, I did know the college guy that came over, so I did know that. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. They have an interesting logo. It's like a superhero type deal, comic books and things. But, with the first event, Mayakoba, we know it well because it was, a PGA Tour event. So it's actually kind of nice. DB did a show last night, and, it's kind of nice to be able to handicap a tournament on a course that we know before, whereas a lot of these golf courses that they're going on for LIV, we haven't really seen, which is part of the appeal too, but it does make it a little bit harder to handicap who can win and things like that. So I'll let kind of DB dive more into that part of it too. But yeah, I mean, in general, I am excited to see it get started this week.
I am happy to hear this, Pat. You've come a long way, and bravo to you. It shows a great sign of maturity and wisdom to be able to kind of sit back.
Well, but you didn't say that about Rory in your tweet. So Rory doesn't have any wisdom?
No, he does. All right, and I love that Tony's got the class photo here of the LIV, the high school class photo that LIV took here. But I want to put you on the spot, Pat. I want to see where we stand because it's important to know where we are to be able to measure, where we're going. So without cheating, Pat.
No.
I have set the over under at 7 or 7.5 teams, Tony.
Yeah, 7.5.
Oh, you want me to name the teams?
I'm going to put a minute on the clock. No cheating. I want you to name 7 or more. Name as many teams as you can on LIV. Ready, set. Tony, will you count? Ready, set, go.
Cleeks, Legion 13, High Flyers, Range Goats, Fireballs.
Fireballs? Question mark.
Is that one? That's 5. Damn it.
35 seconds.
Can I give a hint?
No.
Smashers, smash. Something smash.
Okay. We'll continue. Use it in a sentence. I like to smash my wife on a. Okay. 15 seconds.
I don't know if I got any of the other ones. God, the also. I don't know.
What a great over-under total that was by me. We're gonna give him 6.
I think I should get 6.
No.
It's like the Masters or something.
The match. Okay, that was so much fun. All right, now I can't get my phone to stop going off. I literally can't get my phone to stop. Stop it. I can't get my phone to stop. Do y'all hear this? Okay, now okay. I'm gonna
I
turn it
even
off.
saw they put up the graphic with all the teams and spelled John Rahm's name wrong.
Yeah, they
So-
did it first. Okay, I think you missed. I don't think you got the aces. Did you get the aces?
Oh no, the aces. Damn.
Did you get the cleeks?
I got the cleeks. That was my first one.
You get the crushers?
That's the one I meant mashers.
Well, because you also have the smash, which we gave you credit for. So smashers or crushers. Or
Okay, give me both then. 7. All right, I
no,
get both.
you still get 6, I think.
Which
You got the fireballs. You got that one, although it doesn't have a question mark on the end of it. High flyers, which is led by Captain Phil Mickelson.
yeah.
You got Legion 13. You got the range goats. You missed the Majestics.
Oh yeah, Majestics.
You missed probably the worst team in the league, the Ironheads.
Mm-hmm.
The Aussie team you were trying to think of was the Rippers, mate.
Rippers.
The Rippers.
Yeah.
You missed the South African contingent of Team Stinger.
Okay.
And you missed Torque, which is Joaquin Neiman's team.
All right. Well.
Okay, now we have one more challenge for you, Pat. I would like for you, again, without cheating, can you name – I set the over-under at 1.5. Can you name more or less, whatever, one full team or more on LIV? Like, give me all 4 guys on a team and name the team and name the guys.
Jeez. I don't think I can do that.
Come on, like range goats, right? Range goats?
Range goats is Bubba. That's all I know. See, I could name like some of the top players on each team, but I don't think I can go all 4 guys. Because even like Rahm's team, which I should know because I saw it, is Rahm Hatton, the Tennessee graduate. I can't remember his name. Caleb Surratt, and then the guy that's like Vincent. Vincent's his last name.
Kieran Vincent. Okay, well,
okay.
I'll give you that.
That's kind of close. I mean, and then and then there's the team. All right, so what's the team name with Bryson?
That would be the Crushers.
Right, that's the Crushers, not the Smash. All right, Crushers are
I think you
Bryson, Charles Howell.
Yep.
Not Brooks. Brooks isn't on the Crushers.
Brooks and Bryson would not be on the same team.
On the same team. Not Matthew Wolf.
Unichef.
Matthew Wolf.
I don't know.
God dang. You got one, and it's the most recent one.
Yeah,
and you kind of got it. It's John Rahm Hatton, the Tennessee guy, and the guy Vincent.
Wait, Majestics is Ian Poulter.
There's no way you're gonna name
Majestics is Ian Poulter, Brandon Grace.
No,
no, wait, he's a South African team. Ian Poulter, Bland.
Nope.
Why is he not on that team? He should be on that team. All right, Rippers. Who are the Aussies that went over there? Oh, you got Mark Leishman.
Yep.
You got
he could literally get one from
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
the crocodile hunter.
Crocodile hunter. And that dingo.
Cam Smith.
Yes, there's 2.
Cam Smith, Leishman. Brandon Grace is not. No,
he's not on that team.
Why do I want him to be on that
He's
team?
not Australian. Brandon Grace is all-time quarterback.
Another Vincent. There's another Vincent. Is he on that team? There are 2 Vincents. I do know that. There are 2 Vincents.
Oh, my God. I'm dying. Oh, dear. What just happened to his screen?
What just happened?
Do you have a balloon? Was that a birthday? Did somebody just wish you happy birthday?
That was the Saudis, man. They're pissed. So mad that I don't live in his team.
Dude. Okay, the Rippers is Cam Smith, Mark Leishman, Matt Jones, and Lucas Herbert, who's a new addition.
I forgot Matt Jones left. Oh man. Okay.
Golly, man. That is
There's
we
still
don't
a
need
lot
any
of
more-
those guys that's like, oh yeah, they're over there. They're not they're just kind of those mid-range guys on the PGA Tour that, oh yeah, they left 2 years ago.
You know, they've definitely trimmed a lot of fat, right? As they've added depth and they've added new names, but there's still a lot of fat. Like, you know, basically the whole Cleeks roster, with the exception of Adrian Moronk, who they just got. The Majestics are just, I don't understand.
It seems like a pretty bad team.
The Ironheads are terrible. That's where the other Vincent is, Pat Scott.
Okay.
The
See, I don't know.
Ironheads,
I couldn't even tell you who the Iron. What is Brooks's team?
he's Smash. So he's Gooch, Kokrak, and McDowell.
That's right. See, all these players should match up with their team names, okay? And Graham McDowell does not match up with Smash.
Yeah, he's too little.
Whatever. So Torque has Mito and Joaquin, right?
Torque has Mito, Joaquin, Sebastian Munoz, and Carlos Ortiz.
Okay.
That was a
I
fun
guess-
exercise. I'm glad.
Yeah, I need to learn more about this, especially if I'm going to be doing some of these shows.
Yeah. Did do the live preview show last night. It was a good time. It was really good. We had some active engagement too on the live chat. It was good to see. There are people, despite what you see and read in Twitter and, you know, Big J journalist news, there are people who care actually about at least gambling on it. So anyway, that's that. All right, Tony, I've commandeered this. Now I'll let you get us back on track here.
No, that was perfect. I should just let you do the rundowns every week.
I just thought of that in the last second, like just temperature check on Pat and his live knowledge.
I enjoyed that.
That
All
was
right,
fun.
we'll move on to the next topic then. We got Netflix has come out with their date for Full Swing 2, which I wanted to get your guys' comments, not only on Full Swing 2, because the big news is their executive producer, Chad Mum, who's been everywhere the last, year and a half since this the first one came out. He did say that the cameras were rolling for the June 6th announcement when that swept the news waves over, what was that, RBC, the Canadian Open. So we'll get an inside look at just some of the comments there. But DB, I'll throw it out to you. What did you think of Full Swing 1? Any expectations for Full Swing 2? And maybe the thing that you're most looking forward to seeing?
I think it'd be the popular thing to do to just crap on it somehow and like make fun of it. But I enjoyed Full Swing 1. I enjoyed it because I got to watch it with my 13-year-old who's getting into golf or into golf. My wife who, like casually understands guys and names because I'm always talking about it's what I do. And she sees it on TV on the weekends, but she enjoyed the backstories of these guys. She's like in love with Sahith Theegala's dad, of course. After season 1, like me, I was grateful that she thought Colin Morikawa came off kind of like a punk and maybe a beta bish, but so that was nice. So like getting to share a different side of golf with them was good, and I enjoyed that. And some of the behind the scenes was interesting. Most of it was not, for somebody who's in it as much as I am. It didn't really like scratch the itch, right? There are things that these guys do on YouTube channels that I probably would prefer, but I think it's great for the game. So I love that. I'm excited about Full Swing 2. Definitely not as excited as I think I could be. I think some of the characters in here are going to fall flat. Zach Johnson. I mean, I guess I just get to relive his Ryder Cup, just absolute cluster bang of a performance is probably going to bore me on that episode. Definitely cameras rolling January 6th June 6th is going to be interesting. I mean, listen, everybody does that, right?
Yeah.
Literally everybody does that. If you're in golf, you're like June, January, it's whatever. You get it. The cameras rolling on that day is going to be interesting. But, for example, like Ricky Fowler, I've seen enough of Ricky Fowler. I don't know. Tom Kim, I love Tom. Seems like a funny guy. What are they going to show us? Are they going to show us like, is he going to just be like video gaming and calling his mom and
walking around in his dirty pants,
and doing what? Just being single with no kids, pure as the driven snow. Tom Kim. I don't know how that's going to go. I do know this. I doubt it. The chances are quite small. They're as small as Pat naming, every team on LIV today, but there is a chance me and Pat could be in it. Remember, Pat?
that was literally my only comment about this was going to be the fact that there's a small chance we could be in this unless we hit the cutting room floor.
I bet we did.
The
odds are
very large chance.
What do you say? 10,000 hours they recorded? Was it 10,000?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
9?
Yeah.
Is it 7 episodes or 9? Isn't it more than the last one? I think it's 9.
9 pops into my head from the announcement.
Yeah, there's 9 guys on their promo that they have here. I think a couple of them are going to be the same, like Matthew and Alex Fitzpatrick. I think they said they were going to dive into their almost winning Zurich. And then Luke and Zach Johnson, I think, will be, the same in the Ryder Cup.
So maybe it's anyway. I think I saw 10,000 hours, which is I think they had 7,000 hours in the first season.
Mhm.
So the odds of I don't know what would you say, Pat? 15 to 30 minutes that they recorded us at the Players, hanging out with Gino and the caddies at the rental house at the Players. The odds of that making it on the cutting room floor probably.
I mean,
0.
what do we count though? What do we count as like? What if they actually
anything
use some of that footage from that room we were in, but we're not in any of it.
Ooh.
But if it's from that room, does it count?
I think you have to be able to see or hear us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then it's like 0%.
Yeah, it's pretty low, but it was a good time. It was a good conversation. We told some funny Siwoo stories. There were some funny Siwoo stories that went around that night. But yeah, I mean, I will watch it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm too cool to watch it. I'm not going to completely crap on it. Honestly, it's not made for folks like us. We're too deep into it, so it's not a bad thing. I think it's a net positive. But I would love to be able to pick the characters myself.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm with you.
If you guys are in it, I'm adding producer of Full Swing 2 into my Twitter bio resume. So I'm pulling for that now as well.
I'm going to say stars Full Season Swing 2. Full
All right,
swing,
guys. Last thing I got for you today, and we'll wrap up here with I must have missed the memo last year when it went from the Waste Management Phoenix Open to the WM Phoenix Open, but I'm still going to call it the Waste Management. The Waste Management Phoenix Open next week, the biggest party in golf. I feel like your crowd, our crowd especially, knows this event top to bottom. You guys will be out there doing a bunch of different content stuff. We got some really, really cool, fun stuff planned that I'm excited to share with everybody. So, Pat, I'll start it off with you. Just overall comments on the event, an event like this. Do you like only seeing in, once a year with something like this, with everything that is the 16th hole there? And then just something you're looking forward to with next week, with interacting with some of the fans out there in Phoenix.
Yeah, well, it's hard to believe that this will be our first time ever at this golf tournament. Just the way we've done things over the years, it is kind of our people. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to everything that has to do with it. And I don't mind if it were more in more events like on tour. Now, I think in some ways there are holes like this. Like Honda has one that's either 16 or 17. There's a few others that have holes that are like this, but not in any way where there's a complete stadium around the entire hole. So I'm looking to I can't wait to see what that's like. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to walk around with a few players and talk to them and get their thoughts on a lot of the things we're talking about right now. I think we might catch up with Kiz, who is going to be an announcer this week for the second time this year. So we'll get to hear him, which I think will be cool. But in general, I just think the waste management is a great thing for the game of golf. It brings in a lot of fans that are not, golf fans in general. So I'm going to take it all in. I'm excited about it.
I'd say I'd love for people watching the show, listening right now. First of all, we are going to be out there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'd love for, if you've been there, if you've done the waste management, like other than 16, what are the must-do, must-see things at TPC Scottsdale? Obviously, the DraftKings Sportsbook on site there. This will be the first year that the tournament's going on, and that's open. We're going to be taking that in. Maybe doing some content there, as well as dinner there on Tuesday. That's going to be a good time. But what are some other things that we must see? with the interviews, I know we're planning on talking to Byung-Hun An, JT Poston, maybe a little Joel Damon. Pat mentioned Kiz. We've got some other friends that are going to be there. We've already kind of set up. We're going to do some stuff with them. What would you like to hear us ask those guys? So drop that in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening, DM us on Twitter or Instagram or Discord or whatever. All the DMs are open. We'd love your suggestions. That would be great. And don't forget to subscribe and like while you're here. But yeah, it is kind of crazy that we've not been to this tournament before. It's right on brand for us. We're also going to get to play some golf with some listeners on Friday at Dobson Ranch. Shout out to Dobson Ranch. Great place right there in near the Scottsdale area, taking great care of us, and a great place for anybody to go play golf. They're not very pretentious and stuffy. And we got a couple tee times there. And I think we have a couple spots left. So if you're in the area and you want to play, let us know on Friday morning. Other than that, man, Tony, it's just an opportunity to travel with Pat, and traveling with Pat, it can be an adventure. Now, I'm not traveling with him in the air to or from, but it always starts there with Pat. Well, actually it starts before
I think from we have the same flight to Atlanta.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Pat deals with the OCD-ness and the anxieties before and after, and
a lot of times,
a lot of intestinal things going on, and then he gets there and he's ready to go. And this is one of my favorite parts of any work trip with Pat, is we get to a certain point where Pat's just done. Pat's done. Pat's done working. I'm done. I'm done being a slave, for you, DB. Tour Junkies. I'm done. I've hit my limit of being on camera. I don't want to wear this damn mic anymore, and I don't want to talk to another strange person that I don't know anymore, or approach them with a microphone. I'm tired of being on Instagram. I just want to enjoy the damn golf tournament. That's where Pat eventually gets, if we're at a place beyond 48 hours. So at some point, that may happen. So if if you're on site and you run into us and Pat's a little grouchy, it's probably on Thursday. Just know.
Well, I mean, based off of text I just saw, I may be grumpy on Thursday now.
Anyway, so it's always adventurous. And then of course, night times, you get nighttime Pat, and nighttime Pat, you can definitely draw a multitude of hands there. So I'm excited. I'll try to keep the people up to date on how that goes, although not too up to date, because Pat will get mad at me if I do that. But we'll do the Discord chat for the Discord on Wednesday night. Our record of doing Discord live chats on Wednesdays of golf tournaments that we are at is about 100% for turning into an absolute shit show,
which is good and bad.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think it's a net positive. People in the Discord say that some of their favorite Wednesday night chats have been in those exact moments and settings. So that'll be, night 3 that the two of us will be together. There's always drinks involved, and it's a late night, and we're kind of, it just gets loose. So we don't usually record those. We do tend to record the chats in the Discord for people to be able to go back and listen to if they miss them. We usually don't record those.
Or we record up to a certain point and then we stop it when it starts really getting out of hand. So.
Yeah. Or we do that. We know when to cut ourselves loose at the recording. But anyway, I'm excited. Tony, have you ever been to Waste Management?
I've never been.
I think it would be fun to have, because I know it's not like West Coast, but it obviously is out West. I think it'd be fun to have one at a different time of year on the East side of the US that and they almost build this like rivalry, right? The two tournaments, so like a friendly rivalry, right?
Mm-hmm.
They build this, but what makes, one of the things I think makes Waste Management so unique is it's a very accessible city. Scottsdale, it's right there next to Phoenix. You fly in easily, get there quickly. There's the college aspect of it. You have so many of the college students flowing in, and it's the one tournament a year they go to, maybe the one tournament a year they care about. It brings a lot of vibrance to the event, a lot of energy to the event. So, having a place on the eastern side where you've got an airport close by, you've got a college close by that would be rabid for an event like that. and of course a tournament, sponsor and organizer that would embrace kind of the chaos. I think the tour could afford. Everybody's always like, oh, I love the waste management one time a year, but I'm like, no, dude, like I can do it 2 times a year. I can do it 2 times with enough separation. That would be a fun event in May too.
I mean, I think, to be honest, the perfect place to have that. I mean, you couldn't do it at Quail Hollow, but I think I've heard that sponsorship might go away at Quail. So I don't know. Charlotte would be a great town for that. When you think of everything that's around Charlotte, for them to do something like that, if they were ever to, they'd probably have to go away from Quail Hollow because there's no way that membership would allow something like that.
That's the thing too. It just has to be the right concoction. But it would be cool to have like that East Coast and like the 2 tournaments somewhat getting thrown into the same, bucket, so to speak, in terms of how those events go down. And then they start like trying to one up each other with being awesome, right? Like right now, like Waste Management has a monopoly on being the coolest tournament on the PGA Tour, right?
Yeah.
It's not even close. So if you had another tournament that could somehow come in and try to attempt to do the same thing and do it differently and bust up the monopoly and be like, we think we may be the new kids on the block, but we're the coolest tournament in town. Like that competition would be great for golf fans. I think we could afford to have something like that one more time a year, and all the, all the stuffy golf guys could probably handle it and not want to,
and LIV's trying to do that too with some of their events.
Yeah, I mean Adelaide definitely gets there. Somewhat. I mean the Aussies are nuts. They're nuts. But anyway, I think that would be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. I don't know what that probably means. This show is not happening next week. I can tell you that. We will be.
I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think it's happening next week. You know what? I'm also looking forward to, DB. I'm gonna be rocking my Swannies gear.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have some fresh Swannies gear.
Yeah, just got it.
We're gonna try to see what we can get Pat doing. Tony, maybe worst case scenario, although cell phone signal is always terrible at a big PGA Tour event when you don't have you have everybody trying to pull signal, but maybe there's a way that we can like FaceTime you from the thing or something, and like we just slip in here and record a little something. I don't know, but we'll see. That'll probably be right at the point, Pat.
That'll be a point. I'm like,
you commit me to that. I don't want to do that. I just want to watch the golf tournament. Huh?
I'm not going to go into detail on this Waste Management Phoenix Open today. Okay. I just want to walk around. I'll just I'll try to learn AI in a week, and I'll just have like cardboard cutouts of you guys, and I'll type out AI all your answers, or just type them myself and make you guys look really bad.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I wonder if there's an AI thing that like, is there enough Pat Perry content out on the internet that an AI video robot person on the internet could like replicate a good Pat Perry impression?
Well, what's the one that PFT has been using?
Yeah,
where he's like Donald Trump and the Taylor Swift ones or whatever. And I think he just types that stuff in, and it sounds exactly like him.
I don't think there's enough out there. Yeah,
there's a lot out there.
There is a lot out there, though.
And if I needed a private message to Mr. AI, I got plenty on the on the camera roll that we could probably help him build out his repertoire.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Thanks for hanging out with us this week on the Bump and Run episode 5. Thanks to producer Tony for throwing this together. Thanks to our friends at Swannies, our friends at SoBet. Check them out. Link in the descriptions. Going to be fully decked out in Swannies at Waste Management. Pumped for that. And let's have a great week. Got Pebble Beach going on. You got LIV Mayakoba starting on Friday. It's getting here. You know what I mean? We got one more week. Super Bowl is going to be done, and people can start thinking a little bit more about golf. And then before you know it, it'll be the Masters. So it's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching. Let's have a great week. See ya. Out. Yes, it don't say.